you're all set, we're going to get right to questions. We'll start with Jason Kersey.
Hey, Woody. Thanks for your time. Your defensive line has gotten a lot of attention this year for how well they've played. And I'm just wondering, when they're playing that well, what does that do for you guys on the back end?
I definitely say I think that the DBs are playing well as just as well as they are. So we're covering well, and I think that's kind of making the quarterback second guess his throws. So it definitely gives them an opportunity to get back there, and they're getting back there quick. So I would just say that it definitely gives us some relief that they're getting back there.
Okay, let's go to Ryan Aber.
Yeah, Woody, early in the season, there was a lot of talk about penalties, especially on the back end of the defense. But lately, y'all have all over the field drawn a lot of penalties on the other side. How much of that do you feel like is what y'all do, maybe getting under the skin of the opponents, things like that, versus how much of it is just sort of random and up in the air?
I think most of it is just random. I know as DBs, we've been emphasizing getting our eyes back in coverage and stuff. So I think that's one reason why we're not getting a lot of flags like in the back end. And then probably the D line's just been disruptive. So I would say that's probably why they're getting a lot of flags up front.
Appreciate it, Woody.
Terry Murdoch.
Hey, Woody, I'm curious, kind of, I don't even know if there is locker room talk in the age of COVID or not, but, since you had the interception against Texas, it really seems like it's been kind of a avalanche of turnovers, especially, interceptions. Is there, I don't know, anything that's said between guys of competition, just some, I don't know, do you feel something different in how people are approaching the game now? Knowing that the turnovers have really been coming?
No, sir, not really. I just say that we're just taking advantage of what the offenses have been giving us.
I mean, you yourself, kind of set that off, like I said, with the Texas game. Now Trey's had a couple. People have tested him. You feel like you almost have to prepare for people to start coming back after you again?
I always look at it as the ball could be thrown at me at any moment. So I've been ready and prepared for it.
Thanks, Woody.
Okay, John Hoover.
Hey, Woody, I'm curious about the number of freshmen that are getting on the field. It seems every week it's a little more. Guys are getting more snaps, and obviously the score of the game dictates that somewhat. But I just wonder, from your perspective, looking at DJ and the other DBs, the freshman DBs, Josh and Bryson even, does it remind you a little bit of you and Jaden and Jeremiah last year sometimes, the way those guys are just really advanced and ready to play?
Yes, sir. Definitely. I think it just comes from practice. Like they've been doing well in practice, so that determines how much they're going to play in the game. And so I just say if they just keep practicing how they are doing, I think they'll play a lot more for us.
Was there maybe a time during the preseason training camp or whatever that you noticed guys making plays and you realized those freshmen are ready to play right now?
A few guys. DJ Graham, he was making a few plays. Even back in the spring when we first had the little COVID deal or whatever, he was making plays back then. Bryson was making some plays, and then Josh, he's been coming along. Just we've been practicing during, like you said, fall camp and during the preseason.
Cool, thanks.
James Hale.
Woody, you're not around here, but you came to the Big 12 anyway, when the Big 12 wasn't, a Big 12 school, even when the Big 12 wasn't noted as a great defensive league or anything like that. But I've always wondered, in the passing game, you're going against great quarterbacks and receivers. Isn't this league a perfect league for a DB to come into to test himself?
I would definitely say it is, because you look at the SEC, it's a lot of running. Big Ten's a lot of running. And you come here, and it's just air raid offenses. So I think that if you play DB, it's definitely a great place to be.
You run into great wide receivers every week, or are you facing maybe your best receivers in practice every day?
I would say a little bit of both.
Thanks, Woody.
Parker Thune.
Yeah, Woody, going back to the Texas game, it seems like ever since you guys were able to pull that one out, there's kind of been this switch flipped. Do you sense that? How big was the Texas game for you guys to get that win with adversity in your face like that?
I think after the Texas game, we just realized that we can finish a game, because like the games before, the Iowa State and Kansas State game, we didn't really finish in the fourth quarter, and I think that the Texas game, once we finished the game overtime or whatever, I think that it just pushed us to even like work harder in the fourth quarter. Like we have a fourth quarter breakdown every game now at midfield, so I would just say it just helped us be more prepared towards the end of the game.
Back to James Hale.
Woody, I'm interested in, having the off week. And again, you guys are in a different deal because of COVID. So you can't go home and you really have to just plan everything in your apartment or wherever you're at. You can't really do much. How tough is that on you? Is it okay with you? And, how much discipline do you have to maintain this so you can play the rest of the season?
I would just say I think it gives us an advantage because we can't go anywhere. So